You know, it used to be I would stand up here with little notepads. Hi, are you new? Oh, no, you're not new. Hi, Erin. You know, once you guys come through the door and there's a little light on you, I can actually tell who you are. You know, the joys of aging. But I used to stand up here with little pieces of paper, and now I have a PowerPoint, and you think, oh, it's because I'm getting better. No, it's because I'm lazy. There's so little I have to change. So you got it? We up?
I want to share the screen.
Yep. There you go.
And then I want to get to the PowerPoint.
Yep, and then just bring it to the front right there. Here, if you hit right there. Okay, now everybody behind can see it too. Okay, I just keep changing it. It's, you know, like the date's the same. In fact, you're going to see the first slide when we hit that one and be like, didn't we see that last week? Yeah, you did. Okay, first, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. What a great weekend we had. What an incredible, incredible high. I know. You know, what this little bitty group has done since February is staggering, stunning, and amazing. It's just, I guess it was the last week in January. We have to claim those days even if we want to make it seem shorter. Let's be accurate, okay? So, but what we've done is just amazing, and we're having so much fun while we're doing it, and we're making great friends. So tonight, a huge part of the beginning. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Good. Okay, so a big part of tonight is just acknowledging what we did over the weekend. Some of the folks aren't here, but then I'll just send them the clips so they know. Did everybody sign up for pizza if you want it? Good, because Nina's getting it because I don't want any hangry. I've already had some people calling in, or like offering to give me suggestions on how to improve it. I'm like, just let me be for 2 days, please. I'll take suggestions in 2 days. Hello, Christine. How are you? Okay, these first 2 slides we just say to amuse ourselves and remind you. Go ahead. Hi. Our mission here is to defend, protect, preserve, and strengthen our democracy. You guys know that. You know that's our mission. And we did that on Saturday, didn't we? Yes. We did our mission. We lived into it. It was so funny. Before the event, I was so nervous I was nervous all last week, and I was waking up at 3:30. Hi, you two. Prompt as always. So I was all nervous, so Wendy and Sue and Preston took me out. We had some lunch, and my other Sue, and we sat around and talked a little bit, and Wendy said, just live into it, just live into it. And I thought, oh, good advice. I went home and texted her, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And so then she explained it, and we did. We all just lived into it, and it was pretty remarkable. Okay, next one. Our vision, which is our short-term goal, and this last night they brought this up yesterday in Indivisible. We had a group meeting, we had a big one, and so they started talking about, and Tim Snyder, you guys watching Rachel? Yes. Tim Snyder talked about it on Rachel too, which is like, where do we go from here? And because the protests are important, we got to get the numbers up. We know that. We all know the number we got to get above. We did that in Eau Claire. We were at 4.9. We were at 4.9. In Chippewa, we were at 3.4. Not bad, especially since Eau Claire is cannibalizing everyone. You know, but we got, it's okay. I don't care where they go. Get your bunnies on the street. That's all I care about, right? So our short-term goal for the next year, we want to change the legislative balance of power for November 2026, right? And we know that our district is hugely important. It is nationally important. You guys get that? So on a call today, someone said to me, you do get that your district is nationally important. It can change what happens in this nation. I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. I like that. I'll go with that idea. But it is, right? So we got to take care of that voting thing. We also have to support the other people we can flip, right? Do postcards. If there's another district that you can do postcards for, call for, we're gonna, just like we did for Crawford. One of the things that we were talking about today, I was talking with someone way high, and we were talking about strategy, and they were saying Wisconsin changed everything for the nation. Crawford winning was a zeitgeist moment for this country. And you guys know how hard we worked, right? You know how hard we worked. So, we're going to do that again. I'm going to drag you around some more. Okay. And at the same time, we're going to work locally and regionally for systemic change by rebuilding and strengthening our community, right? And we did that on Saturday, too. We really did. People connected, walked, talked. It was fabulous. Timothy Snyder talked about that. And in Indivisible, they actually called it, we have to block and build. Just so you guys know, that's our new terminology. Block and build. So we're going to block all the stuff they're trying to take away, try and hold as much as we can, and then we're going to build in our communities so that we can have something different. So we got it nice and short, block and build. Here it is, block and build. That's why I put this slide up. It is a rerun, but it has new material, okay? All right, so go to the next one. All right, so here, what I want to do first is acknowledge everyone who helped on Saturday, okay? So the safety team, for those of you that don't know, we had 5 doctors and a couple nurses out there. So, and I'm just, Deb, Sandy, Mary, Abby, Nina, and a doctor I didn't even know emailed me the day before and said, hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm with Doulas of Eau Claire, and I'm trained in emergency medicine. Would you like me to come? I'm like, hell yes. Who's going to say no to that? Yes. Okay, so I want to acknowledge all of the safety team. If you want to stand up, you can, but I know you guys hate that. But, you know, I always did because, you know, I'm vain. Okay. Sometimes our humanity is a little unattractive, but I can live with it. Okay, so the safety team, that was like my biggest concern, somebody get hurt. So we handled that. Somebody did fall. Who fell? Somebody took a tumble. There was one tumble. One panic attack, had to get out. That's about it. Nothing else. Event monitors. Okay, you guys are going to have to. The event monitors were all the people you saw in the vests. And their whole job was to keep people on the sidewalks, keep them walking and not clumping up, just move around and tell people to do their thing. Now, we did talk to them ahead, and I got to give all credit to the people that were doing it. They were awesome. You know, come on, look at all those people. How awesome were they? But the event monitors, I didn't list you, so come on up. If you were, see, they won't get up. Okay, we had like, I don't know, 28 of those. Okay, love the event monitors. I got to say something about this, and this, and this. Okay, but here, I'll say it now. You guys know I riff this, you know, I'll just make it up as we go. The Eau Claire Police Department called me right after the event. They also called me several times during the event. You know, hey, Cindy, did you know your people are starting to cross over each other? I'm like, whoa! And so they asked us to make the new people, or the people coming in, return under the bridge to try and, yep. So I call the event monitors, hey, you guys, move them under the bridge. And then they called, we need this and this, or hey, can you do this? So whatever we were doing, we did it right away. And so they said, hi, you can come in if you want. Don't be shy. Are you looking for Indivisible? Yes. Yeah, well then, come on in. Come on in. You found it. Okay. Where was I?
They called you.
Yeah. So they called me, and people called for decisions. Like, originally we wanted them just going out in one line, and they called, and they're like, Cindy, they're backing up too much. Can we send them on both sides of the bridge? Yes. You know, just get them moving, right? So, yeah, I know. So it was like, yes, get them going. So, great idea. And then somebody else came and asked, so, you know, just like responsive. So what they said was, you guys were so responsive. Anything we called on, you handled immediately. But more importantly, your event monitors were so good. They kept everybody going and just happy and cheerful. No one was upset. They said it was a great event. You want to do any more? Awesome. Just between you and me, I think it's a miracle it worked, but okay. I can't believe it went, I mean, seriously, I can't believe it went as well as it did. I don't know, maybe it was the grimness of what happened in the morning. Maybe it was, I gave them a good talk about safety and imagining your grandkids and don't be a bad memory. I don't know, maybe they were just in the mood for it and they're all, whatever it is. There was some perfect something that made it amazing.
And
Okay.
part of that perfect something.
I'm going to talk right over the top of you. No. Anyway, so the other thing the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Brigade in Black. They were amazing. What a tremendous start to the park. The whole anti-fascism brigade, the whole goal was to set the tone as they were walking so that as they walked, people could see and hear and think about what we were doing out there and then have all the fun behind them. Hello? Apologies to Barb. I had heard that you were not coming, and so she came and there wasn't a sign for her, but God bless her heart, she marched anyway. So the next time we do this, Barb gets a sign. Okay? Because poor Barb came and she's like, I got no sign. And then I felt terrible, but I heard she wasn't coming, so I stuck someone else in there. Hi, are you coming in here? I am. Good, come on in. You haven't missed much. All right, Lady Liberty, she said she had her picture taken at least 500 times, maybe 1,000. That was awesome. That's one of my former students. I taught her design over at Stout, and I knew she made these big puppets, and I called her up, and I'm like, hey, can you make me a big puppet? And she did, and she came, and she walked in the rain, and it was amazing. And I think Kat has brought it back so we can use it again. So Lady Liberty is going to join us for other things.
People around the country emailed back to me when I sent that photo, and they loved it.
Really?
Yes.
I will tell Jamie. That's awesome. I got quite a few actually emails about the brigade. Thank you for starting it that way. It was so powerful. So just so you know, everything that every one of you did made a difference. On the Graham bench, that's where Mary was for our folks with mobility issues so they could join. We paid special attention to handling mobility issues. I don't know if you saw them all. Did you guys all see the picture of the couple? Yeah. Oh, let's be honest, marketing gold. But even aren't they inspiring? Seriously, we can use that picture forever. Him with his oxygen, her with her cane. You can see the puddles around him, determined to walk. But then I got some video they took of some folks coming over the bridge with their walkers. Awesome. The main thing is everybody included and no one left out. Yeah. Isn't that our goal? Yes. Everyone included, everybody valued, no one left out. Okay. Awesome. Lake Street Bridge. That was the Pearson clan. None of them are here. It's so funny. We have a lot of clan action. You know, I've been watching Braves, so I'm concentrating on clans these days. So the Pearsons were doing the bridge, you know, down there handling that. And then the Landveers, they were handling the turnarounds and stuff. And there was one other family. I'm like, we had 3 families that were like handling pieces. And for me, as a human being, when certain things got in place, I noticed I just felt safe. Like once we had enough medical people, I'm like, okay. Once we had enough event monitors, like, okay, we're going to be okay. And that was like this kind of stuff. We got someone to handle our mobility people. We got someone to handle the lights. And so every time we hit some new group of people that finally like solidified, we've got the brigade to make the statement. Those 2 were the first 2 that said yes. I put it out there and initially no one wanted to go, but Kurt and Kath are like, we'll do it. I'm thinking, okay, if we can get up to 6, we're going to do it. And then we got up to 8. And then we got up to 16, and it was awesome. So I'm really happy. We got the full thing. All right. I want to also give special credit. I don't think they're here. I had a cleanup caboose. That was the Lochner Wrights. Are they here? They walked behind everyone and picked up the garbage. They walked behind everyone and picked up the signs. They picked up everything. And they volunteered for that. Isn't that amazing? He came back, he says, I don't even have a third of a bag of garbage. He said, this has to be the cleanest bunch of people I've ever walked behind. Isn't that terrific? Okay. And then the Owen Park cleanup, Amy was here with, I know, she had some friends here and wanted to, she wanted to participate, but she had some friends here and her husband, and she's like, but we'll clean up Owen Park at the end. And they did. Oh, wow. They did. And she said the same thing. Man, this park is clean. Well, they had so much time on their hands while they were waiting to walk, let's be honest. They had time to throw it away. Yeah. Okay, for the sound system, I've got 3 thank yous to go out on that. I just want you to know, I am human, and if I forget someone, please tell me. Don't go away and feel bad, because then I feel terrible. So if I forget, tell me, because I'm doing the best I can. Okay, it was a lot to remember. Sound system. Wendy and Preston found someone to do the sound for us, to come put it in, install it, check it. He was awesome, Michael. He came, he set it up, and he told, later I said, do you think, that, is this going to be enough? Because the speakers, that's the second, it goes to Gary. You know Gary, who set up speakers here once, and he did it for hands off? Well, he got bigger speakers, because he got bigger speakers than hands off. And so I said to Michael, because I was nervous, there were some complaints, I said, is this going to be enough? And he said, yeah. And so then when the rally was done, he's like, no, it wasn't. And I'm like, why? He said, you had too many people. Once it got up over the hill in the back, they were going to have trouble. He said, I had them maxed out. He said, but I did everything I could. So, did you? Awesome. And then I want to thank Maeve, grandchild and great-nephew, who helped Michael set up and stood there and was trained for all the ones in the future. Yeah, so because Michael can't come every time, so we trained, yes, a youngster. So that's great. So thanks to the sound system. Thanks for the pre-support people who brought me food, took me to dinner, took me out places, came and sat on my back deck. Thank you to all of those folks that did that. Awesome. Thanks to the people who did photo and video. Cora and Michael caught the couple. That's their, I don't know which one, but those two caught the couple. Had some beautiful video. If you look at their video, they've got some awesome videos. So many of you sent me stuff. I just put so much stuff out there. So thank you. I keep getting feedback from folks like, thanks, we got it from so many angles. It's so cool. We saw them everywhere. They're really excited. Thank you for doing that. I was supposed to line that up, and I will tell you honestly, Cindy dropped the ball. I was just like, it came to the day, I'm like, ooh, I didn't line anybody up. So, oh well. And just I thought, well, I hope people do it. I did ask some people to record me, so if you have me talking, I want to see what that sounds like. Preferably if the audience is loud behind you, because I did see one recording, and the audience, because of the distance, sounds really weak, but I can always layer in some more. Okay, good. So, what I would love to do is just, and the biggest round of applause goes to the people who went in either city. Come on. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody, I'm sure, is in one of these groups that's in this room. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being an inspiration and a hero. Love it. Okay. Now what I want you to do is paired share. Do you know what paired share is? It's really fun. You pair off with the two, in twos, two, and just share with each other like what was the most important or meaningful moment you had for the day. And if some of you have empty chairs, be a tri-share. So just take 2 minutes, because I know what my moments were. Share with each other what your big moment was. Okay? Finish up! Finish up! Thank you. Thank you, Sue. She knows. Hand up. Put your hand up. Shut your mouth. Hand up. Hands up. Mouth shut. Thank you very much. All right, I would like 3 or 4 people to share, Deb. I would like, you don't have to share, but, okay, so 3 or 4 people want to say anything? You can say yours or what the other person said. You big bunch of stinking chickens. Okay, Jesse, okay, go ahead.
Oh, Amy and I were both like...
Stand up.
No, there's not a lot of difference when I stand up.
It's
so
okay.
Amy and I both we were both toward the end, so we stood for a long time, but just watching, getting a glimpse of the bridge and all the people over the bridge. and just seeing people constantly moving down there, we both were like, wow, like this is really big.
Yep.
That was both a moment for both of us.
Mr. Sobleski, stand.
That was a moment that you could pronounce my last name. I think for Patty and I, it was really many of the same things, certainly. And, but I think when we got lapped, when we just approached the bridge and they were, and the other, on the other side was coming back, it was unbelievable that there were that many people of all ages, from old, older than I even, to the very young. I mean, it just was incredible to see the energy and the people and the purpose.
The purpose. Thank you. Can we have applaud for both of those? Normally, it's been a while since I did paired share, so I forgot we're supposed to applaud in between. Sorry. I used to do this a lot, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot paired share. We're supposed to applaud. Okay. Any? Barb and then David. Barb, stand up.
So I was actually, this was the O'Hara one, I was actually glad it rained. I think it showed our commitment and that it wasn't down all that lightning. But I think it really, I don't think it kept anybody awake. And actually, for us that were there, of course, were kind of soaked when we got there, but we walked enough and overlapping that we were dry by the time we got there. I really think that was like added something to our commitment.
I told you that it's hard to be human sometimes. When it started raining, I turned to the person next to me and went, oh, there goes our rally. They're all going to go home. That's what I thought. And a bunch of people were walking toward Lake Street, and I thought, oh. And I leaned on the mic and I go, thanks for coming. And they got in the back of the line. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, thank you. David?
Yeah, the moment I arrived, somebody handed me an American flag. And the right has taken control of the flag so much, like we started right now, that I was almost afraid to wave it, and I instantly realized everybody was waving one. And I felt like I could take the flag back and kind of take the narrative back.
Well, it was Flag Day. Thank you, David. Okay, 2 more. Okay, Chris, and then Kat. You want no or? Sure. Okay, up.
You want me to do stupid dog tricks? So I always bring an extra sign for whenever I go, and I had this huge sign that said,
Talk loud.
we have a constitution, not a king. I had this huge sign, and there's 3 young men standing in front of the 3 of us that came together. And so I just tapped the young man on the shoulder. I said, I see the 3 of you don't have a sign. Would you like this one? This is what it says. He said, no, thank you. I said, well, are you aware of the protections that the Constitution offers? Yes, we're aware. And then I stepped back, and I noticed they have MAGA hats on.
Oh. I saw those 3. But thanks for trying. You gotta have.
I didn't know.
I know.
It was just innocence. But they, you know what? They were so like calm. They weren't sassy. They weren't mean. And they agreed with us that Van Orden is not doing his job. So.
Oh, good for that.
I was really good for you because you made so much possible just by that little interaction.
Yep, and that's the thing we all got to get, you know, that we make all this possible by these little interactions. And I thought it was amazing when I said, when I was speaking, and I said we need all of our Republican friends, and the whole audience cheered.
Yes.
I was prepared. I actually was prepared for if there was like negative response. I couldn't even. It's just like that was awesome. Kat, you quick. Carl, I'm already through the middle, but next time, hang.
It was great when people said thank you as we walked by.
Yep, awesome.
Yeah.
Random bystanders.
Okay, good. All right, can you be quick, Carl? Can you be quick? And Marcus, can you be quick? All right, quick.
Walking along Barstow Bridge, looking at the bridge from Pablo Center, walking, and our bridge was, tell me what
democracy looks like.
And from the block of water, what did I hear?
This is what democracy looks like.
You people don't know?
Yeah. Yeah,
This is what democracy looks like.
that's awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Carl. I was worried about, going in on Pride. I heard from 2 of the Pride planners thanking us for coming in, saying that people cheered, that they were glad we brought them, that they appreciated us. And Amy's, daughter mentioned that what was great about the stoplights is it sent them in pulses, so they could move in and through, and there were breaks, and so that made me happy to have them acknowledge it. And they said, no, we were applauding. It was great. And I heard from someone else that were people stepping out of the stores, store owners stepping out to applaud. Yep. Isn't that great? Okay, Marcus, last one, quick.
How about all the great signs that were there?
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. See, this is what helps me. Great media. Didn't we have terrific coverage? The Eau Claire Leader, they covered us on Thursday and they covered us on Monday, and they did a great job. They even had a picture from Chippewa.
Yes.
Did you see that? They had 2 pictures in the print version. There were 2 pictures of Eau Claire, and Chippewa was in there too. And most of the interviews were in Chippewa, so it was awesome. So it was really great, and it talked about all the places people came from. You should see the huge list. We had a lot of folks come in. That was wonderful. WEAU, great coverage. WQOW, they actually, for those of you that don't know, they lost power all day Saturday. Someone hit a transformer. Yeah, so it took them a long time to get it up. Yes, like you, I would have liked it up better Saturday. Sunday at the latest. But you know what? We're going to roll with it. Yep. Okay, Civic Media up north. I did an interview with them, a radio interview. They go, so we talked about new media. So all of that was terrific and wonderful, and I'm really excited. And hopefully we have changed the way they cover us. Because I had heard a lot of people were calling about the hundreds number, and they called me to ask if we had a count. So I told them what ECPD had said when I told them our guests, and they said they thought it was higher than that. And then I told them about the person who does music for sound music in the park and for Zorn Arena, and they said, no, the number was even higher than that. So I feel confident that it was a good number. It was a good number. So that's terrific, but they told me they had changed it. They had put out a correction on it. That's what they told me. That's what the email said. And you know what I said when they said that? Thanks, that's just great. But holy cow, did JD do a great story. I went into how appreciative we were that they talked to John DeRosier, who said this is Eau Claire, and the kid, and hid all the stuff.
It was a great mix of ages in those 2.
I know, couldn't have done it better if I'd been cutting it myself. And trust me, I always have feedback. Just like I'm sure they'd like mine as much as I like the other. Parks and Rec, I took back the stuff and talked to them, and I just brought the key back. And I said, she was gone for the weekend, and she had teased, when we went in, Bill Lehman teased her and said, you got to come and sing. She goes, oh yeah, I'll do that. But she was gone at a family reunion for the weekend. So when I took the key back, I walked in, I'm like, you didn't come and sing. And then she said she was at the reunion. I said, well, thanks. I said, did you hear about our event? She said, I heard it was huge. I said, thanks. I said, I hope you know we're fighting for you.
Yes.
We're fighting for parks. We're fighting to try, and she said, to try and save our resources and our natural areas before they're gone. Yes. And she said, thank you guys for doing that. Each city by the numbers, blah, blah, blah. Eau Claire, way over 3,200. They're actually saying 4,500, but who knows? Whatever. The number is, that's a lot of bodies. Yes. Chippewa, 460 at the people, lot from distance. They did not want to leave. On one of the things, I put 4 to 5 o'clock. Okay, my humanity. I was so hoping they'd leave at 5. So, 5:30, they're still standing there. 6 o'clock, they're still standing there. So I got on the bullhorn. I'm like, you guys, you got to go home. They are not going to let us be here all night. So, for future reference in Chippewa, if you are here and someone, I think, what are they, coal dusts you, drives by with a vehicle and blows dust, snap a picture, send it to the Chippewa PD, they'll go visit with them. And they will send an officer the first time it happens to make sure we don't get more of it. And I'll talk to Eau Claire about it now since I heard, I got to tell you, Eau Claire was all over us. I have no complaints about Eau Claire because they had said originally, you won't see us, we'll be, and they said, we're going to have a little more of a presence, so tell people when they see the cars not to be alarmed. But we're just, we're going to be a little more apparent today. But we didn't have anything. We did not have, we had a few grumpy people, we had some people arguing, but nothing. It was awesome. Okay, next one. Let's see. What did I do next? Oh yeah, messaging. Are you going to get the pizzas? Hopefully. Okay, I'm just doing messaging minute. It won't be long. It'll be 4. Okay.
Can I just say one thing?
If you'd like. Oh, wait! Hold on, sit down. The other thing that we had this weekend that we participated in and that I gave up a bunch of people was Pride in the Park, because we had a strong commitment to building other allyships. It's why we moved the meetings so we can all go to Juneteenth. And our Protecting Equity group, Jen Cook, do you have anything to say about what happened? Thanks, Jen.
We were in the park for Pride in the Park, and we had a lot of volunteers. Aaron was there, anyone else who's there. And they stuck around the whole day, and we had so many happy visitors. But after the march, I think you announced we were indivisible, we were nonpartisan. People came to our booth to find out more. Like a lot of people, like more than I would have thought. And so that was really exciting. And I will also say I was sad I couldn't march with all of you, but it was pretty cool to watch it from the park as everyone went by and how excited everyone was. So that was awesome as well.
Thank you. And the Protecting Equity group took on Juneteenth. So we have buttons, ally buttons, and we have, Chippewa Valley Indivisible Pride buttons, and we have Juneteenth buttons. And so if you guys would like to wear some bling bling, let us know, because we are out there building allyships. You know that. Okay, let's do messaging minute very quickly. According to Alt National Parks, based on the number of phones that were turned off and put into airplane mode or showed their locations in all of them, plus they called all of the folks and asked them how many folks were there, they're estimating that it was 13.5 million. The first estimate was 5, and it went up again, but what they're saying is they think we're above the 3.5%, which I think is possible just based on everyone's behavior. I mean, look at our numbers. Look, if our numbers are any clue, so I like their numbers. As I always say, like when someone told me the higher number, when Davy J said, I think you are at, I'm like, I like your number, I'm going with your number. Anyway, but I like their number. I don't know what's real. What I do know is a lot of people came out. Yes, Erin?
Can you repeat, where did that 13.5 come from?
All of the 2,000 plus events. Okay. So they where cell phones were, where bodies were, and then counts.
Got it.
Okay, and they have on their website how they did it, and who knows, But I like their number, I'm like, if they can believe what they want, can't I? Okay. Last night we already talked about Timothy Snyder. The most important thing he said is stay in action, build on the momentum, and promote a positive view, which I really tried to do Saturday. It's one of the main reasons I just kept it one speaker, didn't want to have a lot. I don't want to drum the old stuff. I want to be about the future. And he even said, you can't just be against. He said, no kings is okay, but you can't just be against. You got to be for. You got to give people a future to live into. But we already said that 3-4 weeks ago, I think. Didn't we talk about that? We have to create a future we all can live in. And we talked about allyship. We got to get in there with people who we don't get along with very well and we don't like. I can name a few. Anyway, but we got to do that. And let's make the agreement that we're going to fight the big fight first and then let's debate all the minor points later. Okay, so we can't do it by ourselves. We need more bodies. I don't know about you, I'm getting a little tired. Okay? So I don't know if I'll stop, but I'm getting a little tired. Maria Stefan, who's the one who actually brought Erica Chenoweth over from the dark side. She said, again, we need to focus on the weakening of the pillars of authoritarian support and keep building on the pillars of democracy. I did this in the slideshow. I'll show you the slides quickly. Ready? Go one. Okay, remember, bureaucratic, the government, the people that are giving him money, the businesses, military, ICE, all those folks, police, media elites, and then faith-based groups. Okay, so these are the, and one of the things that I see is that they aren't giving us a very good way of how to do that. I can give you 3 really good examples, and then what I need you guys to do, this is your homework. You will be tested next week. Right? Here we go. What they did with Tesla. The whole Tesla takedown movie, bringing the whole Tesla takedown movement, with the whole thing was savaging that brand, so that it became toxic and no one wants it, and made him pull. I'm certain he's still behind the scenes and doing all kinds of rotten things, but it made a difference. It also showed, much like Crawford, it showed they're vulnerable. Showed they're vulnerable. Target. Yes. Target. Showed. And that's one of the things they said. Remember, we can't target everything. We have to, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, but you know, we have to make a difference, otherwise we just teach them if they wait, we'll move away. So Target, we stayed on that, we stayed on that, we stayed on that, made a difference. Avelo Airlines is the next one now. They're working Avelo really good. When I was at Indivisifest, our group was nominated for an award, national award. We didn't win. I was really excited. There are, 2,000 groups, and so we were one of 4 nominated. So that was pretty exciting. I took a picture. I keep forgetting to show you guys, but I took a picture, and the person that won was the group that invented the Avelo Airlines. And I thought, well, you're a pretty good group to lose to. If we had Avelo Airlines, I'd have been doing it with you. Yep. So we need to think about, that's an example of pulling at a pillar. Got it? Like what's going on with immigration. Like how we're showing up. We're always there. We're going outside their houses, all, 1,000 people of a town. That is weakening a pillar. So what we need to do is keep coming up with more things, because the other things we keep hearing, and Snyder said it, is that we can't plan it out. It's got to be surprising things that work. Like, who knew Avelo would work? Who knew that would work? So we just keep trying stuff, and then the stuff that works, we run with it. Got it? And then that weakens them, and weakens them, and weakens them until they are going to have to give up. Yeah?
Weakening the pillar of media by all the building up you're doing with media is the positive way to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
We're underway.
Yeah, we are, because that helps them then shift. Because once they realize they get as much much coverage and people as many eyeballs for good stories. I was a journalism major. That's what I graduated in. And for those of you that are new, it took me 22 years because I got kicked out. So just so you know, because I was on the slow plan. But so I learned those journalism things really well. But one of the things we were always taught is if it bleeds, it leads. Yeah. Which is one of the things I sadly said to Chris Vetter. I'm not willing to kill someone to get in the Chippewa paper. He said, I don't work for the Chippewa paper, I work for the Eau Claire paper. I'm still not willing to kill anyone. Anyway, my point is,
Add this to it because something went bad back there, but it's probably still recording. Just add it to it.
Thanks.
You'll be staring.
Actually, you're probably not recording. Mike, it's on the wrong side. Oh, wait. It's on the wrong side. I don't know if I can. Okay, good. Like 2 little... Looks like a shock collar. That's what you're doing, aren't you? Trying to make me be quiet. What was I saying now? Blah, blah, blah. Come on, help me. Pillars. Paper. Yes. Once they learn they can get more eyes for the good, that we're looking for that we're going to watch, we're going to notice, we're going to say stuff, the more they'll cover it. It's just like the stuff with Tesla. We got to encourage the behavior we want. Okay, and then up one. And these are the 4 pillars of democracy, which I made sure were in my speech, which is justice, equity, freedoms, and representation. You heard me say we deserve a government of representatives that vote for us instead of the billionaires. Talked about freedoms. Do we believe in free speech? I talked about equity. I talked about justice. I hit them all. So we got to keep building those and tearing at the others. What fun. Block and build, block and build. You guys got it?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, good. Can you go up 2? I think I'm almost done on that slide.
This way?
Yeah, like blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. You know, keep pressuring immigration in the Roberts Court. Okay. But we'll text that. We'll do that next week. Or the week after, or whenever I get in the mood again. Okay. Go, go, go. Oh, there. Upcoming actions. What time is it? 6:19? Okay, they're going for pizza again. Hang on. The pizza girls are trying again. Yeah. Okay. Trying to decide. Mike, this may get pulled out. Okay, just so you know. Nah, it's okay. All right, so we have an event on Friday. I told you we've been asked to do for a Social Security event, right? On Friday. I will tell you in 1 second. Okay, here's the thing. I would like to get a bunch of you. Okay, so we have, you know, we have the rallies on Wednesday and Thursday. I know, I've just taken over your lives. Okay, so we got the rallies on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We got Juneteenth, but on Friday we have this really big thing. They've asked us to do some. For those of you that don't know, the Democrats have made the big ugly bill worse. The Senate, thanks. What did I say?
The Democrats.
Well, okay, so I'm getting tired and hungry. Okay, so the Senate has made the reconciliation bill worse. Worse. And if you don't know that, it's going to hit hospitals really, really, really hard. It's going to force closures on a lot of things. And what they were thinking is that the Senate would water it down. They're actually going harder the other way. So one of the things they wanted people in districts where there are big races is to get out in front of these hospitals and do something to put pressure on those folks and try and get people thinking about what's going on. So I said we'd do one. And initially what I said is I wanted to go stand outside St. Joseph's Hospital. And, that's why. And they said to me, the guy that I told, I wanted to go stand in front of St. Joseph's, like at 10 in the morning, you're gonna hear my rough schedule. 10 in the morning, stand in front of St. Joseph's, and then at noon, be down in front of Mayo. Okay, now listen, before you have an attack. Because, okay, like we are all pro, we never wanna hurt anybody, right? Okay, so I told them and they're like, nah, that's a bad idea, Cindy, because CHIP was already closed, and Mayo will never close because it's got enough of a group that it's funded better. And I said, I understand. I'll think of something else. In the meantime, they talked to some of the people that are going to go to the hearings, and they called back. I can't tell you. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't say. Okay, people, yeah. Who knows? People, maybe it's the voices in my head. Okay? So I got a call back from one of the congressional offices. And they said, so what is it you're trying to do? I'm calling to tell you that I think what you want to do is not going to work. So I said, I live in a town, Chippewa Falls. I am severely allergic to bees. If I get stung, I'm dead in 20 minutes. Dead. Like dead. And at least once or twice a year, I end up in a hospital. on IVs because they have to race me there. People in my family, if I call and say I've been stung, they drop the phone and just fly and grab me and take me. I said, it used to be bad enough when I had to go to the hospital here in town. I now have to go to a hospital that's almost 18 minutes away. I got like a 2-minute spare window. And people always say, do you have a shot? Yes, I have the shots. Yes, I hit both legs. And then I go, as I puff up. So I said, my hospital is closed. And so I have to go down there. So I want to stand in front of that and tell that story. And he's like, that's the story. That's great. I said, because what's even worse is that we have had 2 groups look at coming in there, and they're not willing to come in because it's too much money. And that, and with Medicaid already being cut, because Abby explained that how their Medicaid has cut 22% of what it pays now. They've lost a fifth of their income. All the hospitals have, a fifth. I don't know about you. You want to take a 20% cut in pay? That okay by you? No. No. Do you want that for our health care? No. No. Okay. So, so because of that, that hospital closed, and we have a real resistance, and people are saying they want to wait and see what happens with the bill before they go in and restart these hospitals. I said, and because of that, this is why I want to go to Eau Claire. Because of that, we have this awesome, amazing, wonderful hospital, Mayo, that is so buried and burdened that they actually have to have overflow patients in the ambulance bays, in the garage, or in the hallways to work with people because they have so many people coming in. Oh, I like this story, he says. So that's what I'm doing on Friday. So if this is something you want to do, you need to reach out to me. I need as many people as possible. Are you leaving or are you getting your food?
Sorry, gotta go. Gotta be somewhere.
Okay, so here's was it good? Will you?
I've been on Zoom. I love your meeting.
Okay, but I mean, will you, so you're going to keep coming? I didn't scare you
I
away.
live in St. Paul.
Oh my God! Woo!
Here's person. I'll be here on Zoom.
I love you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Wow. So if you want to do this, reach out to me. I'm going to have you get up and get your pizzas now. They also said they're going to try and get the national media here.
You can have signs.
Yep, hang on.
What sort of signs?
I know what you all need. I'm saying if you want to do it, get your pizza. Yeah?
Cindy, are you saying in front of Chippewa or Eau Claire?
I'm doing 2, 10 and noon. What?
And time of day matters. So what time in the morning?
10 and noon.
So 10 Chippewa.
Well, 10 is Chippewa. Eau Claire is noon. And if anything changes, I'll tell you. You guys know I will. But if this is something you're willing to do and have friends, it's things like save Social Security, save our hospitals, you know. And what do we say instead of Medicaid? Badger Care, right? Now for the hospitals, yeah, we are Badger Care. So we need some signs, we need some bodies, we need it to look full. Okay?
Cindy?
Get some food. What?
Well, the other thing to remember, and I know you just kind of said this, but I think something that a lot of people forget is that the people who might lose their Medicaid Badger Care coverage, those hospitals still have to provide those services, right?
Go ahead. Go.
But if they're getting a pay cut even further, then is another hospital in our area going to close? And those of us who have insurance through our employer, do I not have a place to go anymore? Do you not have a place to go anymore, even if your insurance stays stable?
And some of these small surgery centers, you know, they actually just take the cream of the crop and don't take Medicaid patients anymore. And so the hospitals are getting dumped even harder. Go eat. Can I go back to that thing there? Oh yeah, you do it. Yeah, nice communicating there. Good. If you're looking at the bag under my eye, I might have been stung, like something might have bit me. Like even, you know, because I'm so allergic, I get like mosquito bites and they're like, they don't kill me. They just make me really uncomfortable. Okay. Okay, everybody back? Okay, here's the things I want to kind of say is this stuff down here, and then I'll come back to this thing, okay? So Thursday is Juneteenth. Really, people, if you can, come on, let's be there. 5 to 8, Carson Park. It's like their silver anniversary, 25 years. I mean, when I told you, when Denise told me, I'm like, God, I should go stand in the corner. I've been here since 2016 and didn't even know we had one. So, you know, human. So let's go to Juneteenth if we can. Next year we'll do a table. Oh, we actually have a table this year, but next year we'll have more of a presence and we'll have, someone said, is there a sign up for Juneteenth? Do you guys want to sign up? Do you need one? No? Well, someone, I don't know if it's because they wanted details and want someplace to go to get them. Whatever. The community gatherings, this is a thing that we're going to do in the park. I'm just forewarning you that I'm thinking of multiple locations because I think we need to build more community. I'm not thinking for next week, so chill out. But after this week, we're going to come back to that. Okay, you know the thing we were going to do here at the riverfront? 1 week here, 1 week there. Okay, build community. All right, community table. These are the 2 events for Neighbors Helping Neighbors. The community table is June 22nd. If you signed up for that or are donating money, isn't it the 17th? Isn't that this Sunday? I think I signed up for that. What time is it? I better move.
It's on Sunday, this Sunday, from 1 to 5.
Oh, that's okay. Huh?
Not enough people signed up, but if you want to donate money, we can certainly use more donated money. And same with Agnes's table, which is July 1. We've got enough people signed up for that as well. But if you wanted to donate money, please feel free
To pay for the food.
Yeah, to pay for the food.
Me, Act Blue. Pay me, Act Blue. Because we get double the money in June. And then I just will pay, yeah. It's one of the things we can do because it's an advocacy. Save Ourselves, the Monday group. Next Monday is not at the library. It's at Sunrise Clinic. I put it in the email, but I want to call it out. Next Monday, the library wasn't available. We keep bumping into this not available location. So for the people that are in the, the group, meditation and, guided imagery and all that, normally it's at the library. It's actually at Sunrise Clinic. I'm almost there. The AI event is next Tuesday, June 24th with David. Hang on, David, I'm not there. Hang on. Okay, so he's going to come up and talk about that for 60 seconds. He swears. So in a minute, hold on. I just want to go back over the Social Security thing. Okay, that's okay. What I am going to do is I'm going to create an event private to the group. And normally how the day after a meeting I send something out. So tomorrow I'll send something out and the sign up will be in there. Okay? So sign up in there and it'll have what I think the details are, what I think. And then as they change, at least I've got you and can get back to you. And for the people who aren't here, who are listening, or you guys tell about it, because I hope you tell a lot of people so we can have a good turnout. I will send it out tomorrow in the email. Watch for it. It'll be the top story. I always put a graphic with it. Every story has its own graphic because I am visually inclined. No, it's because I taught graphic design. I mean, I just gotta. I can't even look at those ugly things. Anyway, so I will do that, and then anybody who wants to do it. And if you don't see it, or by some act of God, I have a stroke and I forget, then please email me at my personal account, at the Ojibwa account, or text me. I'm a big texter. Text me. Just get a hold of me. Send carrier pigeons. I'm training crows. I am making friends with crows. I got a crow call yesterday, and I can hardly wait to go out and use it tomorrow morning. I'm gonna see. Yeah, they'll probably dive bomb me. I'll probably be like cursing at them or something. But I want to try making crow friends. Okay, David. David, don't talk until you're in the front of the room.
I want to thank Cindy for letting me quickly turn this into a photo op. That's Levi, the director of operations for my company back there, and he will kill me if we don't get a photo op from this. Anyway, on June 24th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., there is going to be a Google Meet that anybody can drop in on, and we're going to teach you some of the fundamentals of AI that our company normally charges people thousands of dollars to learn. Well, this would be just one session, so prorated, it's about $300 worth of free instruction. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of your aha moments and really focusing on the way AI can be used ethically and sustainably in activism.
Will you be recording it?
Yes, and you'll get to watch the recording later, replay things I showed you how to do.
Good, that's important. And how long do you think it'll be?
It is going to be 6 to 7:30, so it's going to be 90 minutes.
90 minutes, got it. Okay, any questions?
Will you send out an email with the link?
I hope so. If he sends me one, and trust me, he will. You two are blood brothers, I swear. Okay?
I'll send you one tonight.
Yeah, brothers from another mother, I guarantee ya. So if he sends it to me, I'll send it with the other tomorrow. Because in fact, when I sent the other one out today about reminding the meeting, I just kicked myself right. I'm like, dang, I didn't put that dang AI thing in. So I do think I'll remember it this time. Okay? So that'll be in the email. You guys know it always comes the day after the meeting with all the stuff we talked about. And then I try to hold emails to just 2 per week. I try not to bury you guys in them. I mean, people have a lot of requests. We keep putting it, are you guys going to the website and looking at the 5 calls and actions? You guys staying in action? Because Kurt's going to be upset if you're not. How are the counts, Kurt?
They were down on Saturday, but.
Well, shocker. Yeah, shocker. David? Okay, thanks. Thank David. Okay, do you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns? Then you are free to go and be easy, of course. Marcus.
I'm still looking for some liaisons to the groups. Not every group has a liaison yet. And we are now called Shine a Light, not Letter to the Editor.
Because it's too obvious, shining a light. And I do think that's what we're trying to do. And I want to have a talk with your group soon about something related that I found out this weekend that will be helpful. Okay? Okay? Yeah.
T-shirts that we ordered,
Yes.
are they in? Or?
They are.
I haven't been.
Wendy, right there. And we ordered like extra t-shirts, so if you want one, I think like 15 or something, so let Wendy know, and then we'll just keep ordering them until they're here.
The new order will be in July 11th. So.
And you guys saw Brody's t-shirt, or a sweatshirt? Wasn't that sweatshirt awesome?